Hi, and welcome to this Pano 2VR tutorial on patches. Patches allow you to manipulate portions of the image without having to use another editor, and one of the most popular use cases is to hide tripods or to fix the nadir. So here I have a panorama and a tripod that I'd like to hide. And there are a few ways to do this in Pano 2VR. First, we need to add a patch, which you can find here in the viewer modes. Select Patches, and then double-click in the viewer to add it. This is the area that'll be patched, which is indicated by the checkerboard. And it's also translucent so that we can see what it's covering. The patch has handles to resize it, and you can drag on the center here to rotate it. Over here in the properties, we have the different types of patches. The first one is an image, and I'll use that. And I'll locate an image file by clicking on this folder icon. And when I add it, the tripod is covered. And here's a tip. If the patches icon is in the way, you can hide it by changing to select mode and then clicking this eye icon. The mirror ball is another option for quickly hiding the tripod. We can also use an angular map, which is similar, and so is the sphere. And notice every time that we choose a different type, Pano 2VR automatically updates the image. There are also these blurred options. The blurred circle will apply a blurred area, but it doesn't quite hide the tripod. And the same goes for the blurred square. So these two are better suited for blurring out faces or license plates. The blurred cover, however, is better for hiding the tripod as it pulls in pixels from the edges and blurs the center. If you want to get a little bit more involved, you can extract a non-distorted portion of the panorama and use a photo editor to retouch the nadir. So I'll add a new patch, and this time I'll extract this area. And when I do that, because it's a Photoshop file, it'll open up in my default program for Photoshop files. And for me, that's Pixelmator Pro. So here I'm going to use the healing brush to remove the tripod. And then I'll save this image. And when I return to Pano 2VR, it'll automatically update. And there we have it, the tripod's gone. If you have a panorama that needs faces to be blurred out, you would use the blurred circle. So I'll switch to patches mode by hitting A on the keyboard, and then I'll add a patch. I'll resize it to fit the face, and if the patches icon is too big, you can zoom in and the icon will get smaller. And then choose blurred circle. There is also an intensity slider to increase or decrease the amount of blur. If you have a bunch of panoramas or a panorama with a lot of faces, there are keyboard shortcuts to help this process go quicker. And for blurred circle, it's Shift double-click to add the patch. You can also blur out license plates from panoramas using the blurred square. So I'll add a patch and then I'll resize it. And use aspect ratio to match the plate's size. And the last step is to select blurred square for the type. And that should be blurred enough. To cover a nadir for the entire tour, we can use the master node. So here I have a tour with holes at the bottom that I need to cover up. And for this, I'll use an image patch. So I'll switch to patches using A on the keyboard, and then I'll double-click to add it. And I'll quickly resize the patch. Then I'll navigate to my image file. And here's my nadir cap on this node, but I need to apply it to the rest of these nodes. So to do this, I'll open List View. And there's my patch listed, so I'll copy it. And then I'll open the master node by going to the tour menu and pasting the patch there. Now when I return to the tour nodes, my nadir cap's been added to all the nodes. The last thing I need to do is remove the original patch because I don't need it anymore. And that's getting started with patches in Pano 2 VR. Thanks for watching.